Hi everyone, I'm back with another video for Spellbinders, and this collection's called Bibi's Hummingbirds. There's quite a lot of different elements in this collection. I've chosen the die set and the stencil for my projects today. And what I've done is I'm going to start off with the stencil. This hummingbird die set really is a 3D sort of set. I'm using it flat just because I wanted to do something a bit different. So let's talk through the stencil first. So the stencil has got sort of three designs on it really, in stripes. You've got like a stripy design, then like an ink splat, and then a nice dotty design. So I've got some watercolour card here. This is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, so it's going to fit directly onto my card front. And what I thought I would do is just put some white texture paste through this stripy part of the stencil. And what I've done is I've lined this up against, down one side. And I'm being careful not to get texture paste because I haven't used any tape here. So I'm being careful not to get any through the other parts of the design. So I'll just pop that away and clean my stencil. And now I'm going to come in with some acrylic paints. These are Prima Sparks acrylic paints. They've got a lovely metallic to them. You can see I haven't used these for a while because this pink one has got loads of dried paint at the top. But that's fine. I'm just slightly off camera there, but I'm just giving that a quick clean. And I'm going to give that a stir actually. I don't use these very often, and I have had them years, so they do keep quite well actually, considering I've probably had these about 5 years. So I think a bit of dried paint at the top is to be expected really. I should use them more often. And what I thought I'd do is I've got quite a fine brush here, and I'm just going over the top of the texture paste, kind of highlighting it really, because these have got a nice metallic shimmer. It's just going to make them stand out really nicely. I should mention actually, this idea of going over the top with Prima paints, I got this idea, I did a workshop many years ago, it's probably when I bought these paints actually, one of Sue Tucker's workshops here in the UK, with the artist Casa Hazelden. You should look her up if you're not familiar with her. She does amazing things with colour. And in this workshop, we use lots of sprays and things, but we did have a sort of similar stencil to this. It was a Tim Holtz one. And we went over the top with these paints, and then we also added sprays and things. So that was kind of where this idea came from originally. But gosh, this was a long, long time ago. But I like to mention it because, even if it's vaguely inspired by someone else, I like to give credit where credit's due. And she is a brilliant artist, definitely worth checking out if you're not familiar with her. So I've done the purple. So we've got pink, purple, then I've got blue and green. So I'm just working my way down. And I'm not adding any water to my brush. I'm just giving it a wipe in between colours with a baby wipe just to get the paint off. I don't want to water this down because I am painting on top of the texture paste and it's quite a thin line. If I add any water to this, I'm in danger of it kind of running where I don't want it to. So I kind of need the acrylic thick texture that it is. I'm sorry about my head getting in the way a little bit. But I was having to concentrate on what I was doing. So the last colour is the green. Let's see how dried up this one is. Yeah, it's got a little bit at the top. I'm just going to quickly give it a bit of a clean. I have had these paints many years, so they're doing pretty well actually, not to have dried up in the time I've had them. So in with the green in exactly the same way. Obviously you could do any colours and use whatever you've got. I'm sure if you look through your stash you've probably got some metallic paints of some sort. You could even use watercolours, but with watercolours you would want to make them quite a thick consistency, not too watery. The other thing is to go with that and use sprays and things and just go for a different look. I thought it would be nice to have some splatters as well, just sort of carry the design across, because it looks a bit stark, the other side of the card being completely white. So what I'm doing is I'm now going in with some water and just mixing up a bit of colour with the water and splattering it kind of next to the colour. So I'm still following the same pattern with the colours. And I think I need a bit more pink at the top. That's it. So I'm going to let that dry, and while that dries I can do my die cutting from the hummingbird set. So I've done that off camera, and while I was doing that, this has dried enough that I can work with it. So you can see from looking at this that this set is designed as a pop-up. The hummingbirds, you could put them over the fold of a card and have them popping up. Same with the flowers. But because I've got such a beautiful background with that stenciling, I'm not going to use all the dies in this set on this card. I'm just going to use the hummingbird, and I don't need it to be pop-up. So it's very easy to just snip it in half and use one half. And of course then you've got another bird facing the other direction, which you can use on another card. I've gone with sort of bright colours that kind of go with the colours of the paint. So I've gone with like a really nice sort of peppermint colour, a bright pink, and more of a bluey sort of teal. So it kind of goes with the brightness of the paints. And you can see there's not many elements to this. It's quite quick and easy to put together. You've just got the bird. The beak and the eye I've done in a dark grey. I thought black would be a bit too harsh. And then you've just got to stick on the breast and the wing. So the bird's going to go there, and I've got a pile of sentiments that I foiled recently. You might have seen last month I did some foiling with my Spellbinders products, and I've kept a little pile of sentiments, so I'm hoping one's going to fit nicely on here. So rather than put my double-sided tape on the back of my watercolour card, I've put it onto the card front. That's just in case that texture paste isn't quite dry. It saves me kind of having to push too hard on it. So for the hummingbird, I'm just going to put some foam pads behind so that he's got a bit of dimension. And after sticking him down, I realised I didn't put anything under the wing. So I'm just going to gently lift that and pop an extra one there just to give that a bit of support. And then you'll see there I've got a pile of foiled sentiments that I made a few weeks ago. This one in particular has got like a pewter foil. I think the rose gold or gold might be a bit too much with all the bright colours I've got going on. Whereas I think this pewter colour is just nice and subtle. So that's the card finished. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I'll put links in the description box below of all of these products. If you're in the UK, Spellbinders now have a UK website where you can order directly from. So I'll give you links to that. I'll also give you links if you're in the US to the Spellbinders site, and then a couple of other places like Simon Says Stamp and scrapbook.com who also stock these products. So hopefully that's covered everything. If you've got any questions, just leave a comment below and I will come back to you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye.